Assalamu alaikum class 9 students. Betty, today our topic which we have to discuss is that role of chlorophyll and light. Before that, because we have starting the topic photosynthesis in which we have studied about the light reactions and dark reactions in our previous lecture, today we will discuss what is the role of chlorophyll and light in the process of photosynthesis, why they are important. We all of know that chlorophyll is a chemical which is present inside the leaf, and its important function is that to absorb sunlight, to absorb more and more sunlight in its body, which is used by the plant to make food and to get the energy. Okay, and for this process, light is very important. If you remember, if you keep in your mind, you all of know that for photosynthesis process, three things are very important. First of all, sunlight. Second is carbon dioxide, and third is plenty of water. So light and chlorophyll, they both have a close relationship. Okay, now we will see the topic. Sunlight energy is absorbed by chlorophyll. Okay, then it is converted into chemical energy, which drives the photosynthesis process. So chlorophyll plays very important role in the body of a plant. Only about 1% of the light. Okay, I told you okay, why only 1%. We all of know that sunlight consists of 7 colors. Okay, we all of know it has 7 colors inside it. So when this light, plenty of light falls on the body of a leaf, at that time, uh, in um, in that light, only red and blue are active for photosynthesis, and the other colors are hit the leaf and reflected, means bounce off back to the environment. They never absorb by the leaf. So leaf absorb only red and blue light. Okay, so we can see in a hot day, or for photosynthesis light is necessary, so all time light is falling on the leaf at daytime, but among that light only 1% of the light, okay, the light which is falling on the leaf, only the amount of 1% of the light falling on the leaf surface is absorbed. So leaves absorb only 1% of light from the sunlight. Okay, so underline it. This is important for your MCQs. Only 1% of light was absorbed by the leaves. The rest is reflected or transmitted, and the rest of the light, where it goes, it again back to the environment. It is hit the leaf and reflected back. Okay, so the light rays of different wavelengths are not only differently absorbed by photosynthetic pigments, but are also differently effective in photosynthesis. Okay, so we all of know, you also study in your physics that different lights have different wavelengths. Okay, their wavelengths are not same, so they fall on the leaf in different wavelengths, so it is absorbed by different pigments which are present in the leaf, so they act in different way. So the process of photosynthesis also began to different. Okay, now the blue and red lights carry out more photosynthesis. Okay, I will explain you okay, why red and blue light are do more photosynthesis. Its answer is very simple. If we see, I have told you that chlorophyll is responsible to absorb the sunlight. Okay, so when sunlight falls on the chlorophyll divided into photosystems. Okay, it is divided into, pigments are divided into photosystem. Photo means light and system means protons. Okay, so when it falls on the leaf, it divided into photoprotons. Okay, so these protons are further divided into two types. First is called chlorophyll A, and second is called chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll B, also called accessory pigment. It is also called accessory pigment, which means which help in photosynthesis. Okay, so chlorophyll is divided into two parts. First is called chlorophyll A, and B. Chlorophyll B is called and chlorophyll B, and chlorophyll B further take help from accessory pigments, okay, accessory and carotenoids. उनसे जो it get helps from these two elements. Okay, so chlorophyll A, the function of chlorophyll is A, that to absorb only red and blue light. You also have seen in your book the blue and red lights carry out more photosynthesis. So chlorophyll A, it is given in thylakoid membranes of chloroplast. You also study in chapter number 4 that chloroplast, the inner side of chloroplast, consists of sacs. These sacs are called thylakoids. Okay, so in thylakoids, what is happened? Chlorophyll A is the main photosynthetic pigment. Others are called accessory pigments and include chlorophyll accessory pigments and include chlorophyll B and carotenoids. Okay, so chlorophyll A, this is play important role in photosynthesis. It absorbs more and more blue and red light, which help in photosynthesis. And the type of chlorophyll B, it needs accessory. Okay, you can also see it include accessory chlorophyll B and carotenoid. They do not direct take part in photosynthesis. Actually, they support the photosynthesis. So who directly take part in the photosynthesis? Chlorophyll A. So chlorophyll A plays very important role in photosynthesis. And which colors are responsible? Blue and red light. You have to understand chlorophyll A is responsible for blue and red light. So mostly photosynthesis is happen due to chlorophyll A, and the other light, the other colors which are present in the sunlight, they reflected and transmitted. They never stay on the surface of the leaf, and the light which is falling on the leaf, only 1% is absorbed by the leaf and other is reflected in the air. So chlorophyll divided into two parts, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll A absorb red and blue light, and chlorophyll B include chlorophyll B and carotenoids and accessory pigment. So chlorophylls absorb mainly blue and red light. Okay, so some wavelengths not absorbed by chlorophyll are very effectively absorbed by accessory pigments and vice versa. If sunlight is left which is not properly reflected, but it has different wavelengths, so it is absorbed by accessory pigment, and vice versa, means chlorophyll B and carotenoids. Now you will see the box, it is given pigments are the substances that absorb visible light. Different pigments absorb light of different wavelengths. We all of know all all light waves have different wavelength. Their wavelengths are not same. So in simple words, we can say the role of chlorophyll is very important, because chlorophyll is a chemical which is present in the surface of the leaf. Its important function is that to absorb more and more sunlight at daytime for the body of a plant, and and then it convert that energy into chemical energy and then into food. So the light and chlorophyll, they both have a close relationship. The intensity of light definitely affect the functioning of chlorophyll. So this is very important topic, role of chlorophyll and light. Now we'll discuss next page. Come to next page. Limiting factors of photosynthesis. We discuss limiting factors of photosynthesis. So what is the meaning of limiting factors? Okay, Bete, look at your book. Yes, this is your next topic, limiting factors in photosynthesis. First of all, you have to clear what do you mean by limiting factors. We all of know if any reaction is happening in a plant, for example, they are doing photosynthesis. So at that time, other factors which are in their surrounding, they can also affect the speed of photosynthesis. They can increase the speed of photosynthesis and they can decrease the speed of photosynthesis. So in this topic, we will discuss that points which can affect the speed of photosynthesis. Because of these factors, the speed of photosynthesis can be increased and limiting means it can be decreased. I hope you understand it. Limiting factors in photosynthesis, what are they? So if we see, we will see any environmental factor, the absence or deficiency of which can decrease the rate of a metabolic reaction is called limiting factor for that reaction. It's a definition of limiting factor. You have to underline in your book. Okay, any environmental factor which can speed up and decrease the metabolic activity. So which metabolic activity is happening in the body of a plant? That is photosynthesis. If we talk about humans, the digestion of food and other things which happens in biochemical reactions. So they are depend on our human body. Okay, so many factors like light, intensity, temperature, concentration of carbon dioxide, and availability of water act as limiting factors of photosynthesis. So you have to underline what are these factors. Light intensity, temperature, concentration of carbon dioxide, and availability of water act as limiting factors for photosynthesis. These factors are uh, effect on the speed of photosynthesis. So first we will discuss the effect of light intensity and temperature. Okay, we all of know that plants need plenty of light and they also need a good temperature. If the intensity of light is increased, so that the ratio, the speed of photosynthesis will be increased. If the temperature is increased, okay, we all of know that if there is a hot day, if the temperature, the more photosynthesis will be produced. If the temperature is less, so the rate of photosynthesis will be decreased. So this is clear all of you that the intensity of light and temperature also affect the speed of photosynthesis. If they both are increased, the speed of photosynthesis will be increased. If they are decreased, the rate of photosynthesis will be decreased. Okay, so now we will see what is that. The rate of photosynthesis varies with light intensity. Definitely, it is related to the light intensity, and light intensity can be have variation. It can be changed. So it decreases as light intensity decreases and increase intensity increases. Okay, it decreases if light intensity is decreases as light intensity decreases, and increases and intensity increases. If the intensity of light is increased, then the speed of photosynthesis will be increased. If the intensity of light is decreased, the speed of photosynthesis will be decreased. However, at much higher light intensity, the rate of photosynthesis is become constant. Now we will see the rate of photosynthesis decreases in temperature. It increases as temperature is increased over a limited range. I have told you that for photosynthesis, plants also need specific temperature. If the speed of temperature is increased, rate of photosynthesis will be increased. If the intensity of temperature is decreased, the rate of photosynthesis will be decreased. But if light intensity is low, increasing the temperature has little influence on the rate of photosynthesis. But if there is another condition, if the intensity of light is going to be decreased, is going to be low, but the temperature is going to be up. So what will be happen? So what will be happen? A little influence should be produced on the rate of photosynthesis. A little effect will be produced on the rate of photosynthesis. Means a little bit the process of photosynthesis will be disturbed. So this is very important because we know that plants need plenty of light, okay, and they also need a specific temperature. And we also have discussed the light which falls on the surface of the leaf. Among them, only 1% light is absorbed by the leaf, and the other is hit and reflected back. Why it is hit and reflected back? We also know this thing that white light consists of 7 colors. So among them, only red and blue, which are related to chlorophyll A, they help in photosynthesis. They increase the rate of photosynthesis, and the other colors which hit the body of a plant, they hit and reflected and transmitted. So the intensity of light and temperature, they also can increase and decrease the rate of photosynthesis. Now there is another point: effect of carbon dioxide concentration. Effect of carbon dioxide concentration. So what is that carbon dioxide? Why plants need carbon dioxide? Its answer is very simple. I have told you that all plants at daytime absorb carbon dioxide from their environment. They get carbon dioxide from their atmosphere. So when this carbon dioxide becomes the part of the body, and due to the absorption of light in the chlorophyll, and and when the water mixed in this solution, then that food convert into glucose. At daytime, due to intensity of light, due to plenty of water, and due to carbon dioxide which the plants absorb from their environment, when these three things are collected in the surface of the leaf, because of that glucose is produced. Glucose is a sugary solution which is the part of the which is necessary for the growth of the plant. And at night time, plants use that sugary solution and convert it into starch, so carbon dioxide is also very important part of the part of photosynthesis. So its answer is simple: if the rate of carbon dioxide is increased, then the rate of photosynthesis will be increased. If the rate of carbon dioxide is decreased, then it also affects the speed of photosynthesis. So this is very important role. I have told you which three things are important: carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. These three things are very, very important part of the photosynthesis. Missing of one factor among them, it can produce great effect on the speed of photosynthesis. Now we will discuss with your book. You will see, as carbon dioxide concentration rises, the rate of photosynthesis goes on increasing until limited by other factors. This is proof that if the rate concentration of carbon dioxide is increased in the environment, it can produce great effect on the speed of photosynthesis until limiting by other factor. Limited means until an other factor is involved and decrease the speed of reaction. Okay, and other factor, what should be that other factor? It means a light intensity can be decreased. It means temperature can be decreased. So it can greatly affect on the speed of photosynthesis. So in case in carbon dioxide concentration beyond a certain level cause the colors of stomata, closure of stomata, and it decreases the rate of photosynthesis. So what will be happen if any other limiting factor, if any other factor is affect on the speed of photosynthesis. So because of that, what will be happen? Increase in carbon dioxide concentration beyond a certain level. We all of know all living things need specific things for their specific functions. Plants need carbon dioxide, but they need at a limited rate. If the rate of carbon dioxide is increased at that specific point, it can cause the closure of stomata. Now, this is very important point, closure of stomata. We also have discussed again and again, and we also discussed in chapter number 4 that stomata open all day during daytime and they remain closed at night. Now I will explain you why they are open at daytime. Its answer is very simple, because at daytime the stomata are covered by guard cells. So these guards are open to let in gases, to let in more and more gases inside the body. And the which gas the plants absorb at daytime? They absorb only carbon dioxide gas. And you also discuss in the structure of a leaf that in the center of the leaf, at the edges of the leaf, there are stomata, and at the center of the leaf, there are mesophyll cells. And mesophyll cells have spaces around them. And in that spaces, there is water is present. So through stomata, when carbon dioxide is entered into the surface of the leaf, it stay in the surrounding of the mesophyll cells, and then carbon dioxide mix with water and make sugary solution which is called glucose at daytime. So the role of stomata is very important at daytime. But if the rate of carbon dioxide is increased, so it can cause the closure of stoma. It means the stomata will be closed. And if the stomata will be closed, definitely carbon dioxide will not enter in the body of a leaf. It will not mix with water. It will not make sugary solution. And definitely what will be happen? And it decreases the rate of photosynthesis. So what will be happen? The rate, the speed of photosynthesis will be disturbed. I hope you understand it. Okay, what is the function of carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide need by the plants at a specific level, but when it is raised at the specific level, for example, if it raised a specific level, it can cause the closure of stomata. You have to underline in your book. This is very important point. This is very important for your short question. Okay, why stomata are closed due to the intensity of carbon dioxide? So is very important. I have told you that stomata are present at the edges of the leaves. Okay, and stomata are open due to the intensity of water. If there is less water, they will not close. They will open they will open, but they will show less area. But if there is intensity of light, they open themselves widely. So why? That more and more carbon dioxide goes inside the body and it makes sugary solution for the body. But if the intensity of carbon dioxide is increased to its given level, then it can cause the closure of stomata and it decreases the rate of photosynthesis. Now I will tell you the summary of today's lecture. We have started from role of chlorophyll and light, because these are uh, difficult topics. So I am taking only two topics for your lecture. First is role of chlorophyll and light. We all of know all leaves have chemical inside them. which is called chlorophyll, and where it is present? It is present in the chloroplast. You also study in chapter number 4 that plast is further divided into three parts: chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. So thylakoids are present in chromoplast, and they are the inner membrane of the chloroplast, and these are in like a sacs which are called thylakoids. So when the light is absorbed by chlorophyll, intensity of light is absorbed. So we all of know white light consists of 7 colors. Okay, you all of know it has orange, green, yellow, blue, red, violet, indigo, different colors. But among in these 7 colors, only red and blue light are absorbed by leaves, which help in photosynthesis. So because of that, chlorophyll further divided into two parts. One is called chlorophyll A, and second is called chlorophyll B, accessory pigment, and carotenoids. So chlorophyll A absorb more and more blue and red and blue color. So red and blue color are the important part of the light which are absorbed by the leaf. And next one is that chlorophyll B. So what is happened in the chlorophyll B? Because we all of know different lights had different wavelengths. So the pigments which are not absorbed by chlorophyll A, they are absorbed by chlorophyll B. And now we have discussed limiting factors. I have told you limiting factor means such a reaction which can increase and decrease the speed of that reaction. So here we are discussing about the limiting factors in photosynthesis. So what are they? They can be light intensity, they can be, it can be temperature, it can be concentration of carbon dioxide, and it can be availability of water act as limiting factor of photosynthesis. So first we have discussed intensity of light and temperature. So intensity of light and temperature both can affect the speed of photosynthesis. And carbon dioxide is also very important. Increase in the level of photosynthesis, increase the level of carbon dioxide in the body of can closure of stomata. And if stomata will be closed, so because of that photosynthesis will not be happen. Its process will be very slow. So I hope you understand the today's lecture. Now your lecture has been ended. If you have any problem, if you want to ask any question, please raise your hand. Thank you so much.